we're in business. How is everyone today?
We're here.
You're here. I'm so glad. I don't like standing behind a podium, so if you get tired of watching me do laps, you just holler at me, okay? All right, for those of y'all that don't know me, I pretty much think everyone in here knows me. I'm Kayla, the Wellness Coordinator here at Friends Homes. So I help with programming here at West, but also at Guilford. All right. Let me turn this on so it'll work for me. Maybe. There we go. All right, this is the big debate of this presentation. Raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Okay. Raise your hand if you have an Android. I have to tell you, you're outnumbered, Androids. But I will say, I'm an iPhone girl. My husband is an Android guy, and we will never go to one side or the other. We're always going to be divided in that aspect, okay? So it will work, don't worry. All right, let's move on here. So, this presentation is to show you what's on your phone, your watch, your tablets, whatever smart device you use, what's already available to you, and how do you access it, okay? So if you are interested in fitness apps, nutrition apps, your yoga and meditation apps, or even your walking and running apps. Who in here is running? Me either. I'm not putting my hand up on that one either. Me either. All right, the first thing that is the most important is safety. We can get all of this data and information, but if we are not in a safe environment to use it, it's not going to benefit us. So if you're doing an exercise app where they're showing you exercise options and how to perform them, you want to make sure the space around you is safe. You don't have furniture around you, a rug that you're going to trip on, anything like that. But also if this aligns with your doctor's prescription for your health goals, okay? So whether you're exercising, eating a certain way, or anything like that, we want to make sure that is our number one goal and it aligns with it, okay? First and foremost, how do I access these apps on my phone? This picture here is your app store. Now, just because it says store does not mean you have to purchase stuff, okay? This is very important, and I'm going to kind of show you how to avoid purchasing things without knowing it. Who's ever purchased something and you didn't really know you purchased it? A subscription, an item online, anything like that. I've been there. It's not fun. So, this is what you're going to look for on your device. Most of the time, it's on your home screen. Okay, so open up your phone, you swipe or put in your passcode. This should be the first thing you see on one of your options. If it's not, you're going to swipe to the right or to the left, depending on how many apps you've already downloaded and how many pages you have. Okay?
For the iPhone, is that good?
Similar to the Android too. I know the Android setup for apps is similar. There's different options on how to categorize them, but it should be similar. Good question. All right, so as I was mentioning, free versus purchased. Everyone sees this display here. What did I type right here? What does that say?
Free fitness
Free
apps.
fitness app. So everything that comes up should be free, right?
Right.
Ideally, we would hope so. Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You see where it says get? We can see those blue letters. It says get, right? Right underneath the teeny tiny little letters, it says in-app purchases. Now wait a minute. I typed in free fitness apps. This one down here, it doesn't have anything underneath it, so it is in fact free to download. Now I say free to download because some of them will advertise as free, but as soon as you get in there, you want to set up a profile and they'll want you to sign up for a subscription, $9.99 a month. Been there, done that, okay? So these are things I want you to be cautious about when you're researching your apps, okay? questions on this part? Yes, Betty?
What does in-app purchase mean?
That means it's going to charge your credit card account, whatever you've set up on your phone. So I personally have my card saved to my device, and I can pay with my phone at certain retail stores and restaurants and things like that.
I don't have that, so.
Well, you'd be surprised. Some of us think we don't have it. It in fact is in that information. So make sure it doesn't have these teeny tiny little letters in-app purchases. Now, whenever you're downloading any app, whether it's fitness related or what have you, you will likely have to have a password. So if you have an Apple device, you'll have to have your Apple ID, which is typically your email, and then the password that you set up. Now at the end of this presentation, I'm going to let you have an opportunity to sign up for appointments with me to kind of walk through this one-on-one. But if you come to this appointment and you don't know your login, we're not going to get very far. Okay, so keep that in mind. You'll have to have your Apple ID and your passcode. If it's an Android, I think it's some kind of password, or it might do a thumbprint or a Face ID or anything like that. Okay, any questions? You good? All right, the first app I want to bring to your attention, this is the one I use the most. Pacer app is actually what I used to help design our 3K, 5K routes last year and this year. This is what I used, okay? So I want to point out the app itself is blue with a white shoe. You're going to find a common denominator in these apps. All three apps I'm going to show you today are blue with a white logo in them. So make sure you don't get them mixed up. All right, let's see what this app does for us. First thing I want to point out, this right here, you see nutrition, home, and GPS. Yes? It's the very top. I know that's really tiny. We're currently on the home screen. So this is what your home screen will look like within the app. You've got lots of details. You've got your calories so far, your active movement, the miles you've covered, and also your step count. Who in here has a step count every day that you try to reach? What's your goal? And just shout it out. 10,000 steps. Anybody have a different goal? All right. So average people, most people reach for 10,000 steps. Yours may be 5,000, or yours may be 7,000. Whatever it may be, this is going to track it for you. Okay? Now, we're again on the home screen. We're actually going to swipe to get to the GPS screen. So now we're over here. You see GPS is highlighted. Home and nutrition's over here. Now with this one, you have the option to walk, run, hike, and ride. Now raise your hand if you like to walk. Very good. Raise your hand if you like to run. Raise your hand if you like to hike. Very good. I'll do a quick plug. Chris Shamp has a hiking trail tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please join him. Raise your hand if you like to ride. So this can be a bike. Yeah. Who has a bike in here? I'm curious. I know we have a few on campus that like to roam. So this can tailor the route to what you are using to get around, whether it's walking, running, hiking, or biking. Now, I want to focus on a few other things. So once you select what you're going to be doing, you're going to come down here and push start. Don't push start until you're ready to go. So I've often had someone ask me, I really want to know how far it takes from my apartment to get to Kogel's. Who's ever wondered that? Yeah, especially the Villa residents. I really want to know how far it would take me to get from the west living room to the Guilford living room. How do I know? This right here. So I don't want you to think this has to be a fancy walking route that you've created or someone else has created. This can be anything. This is your information hub. Maybe you want to know how far from Kogel's to the hub it is. This will help do it. So what you do, you start at your starting point. You're going to push this big blue button, start, and it will count down. 3, 2, 1, go. And that's when you start. And it's going to track you. You see that black dot in the center here? As soon as I start moving, it's going to track everywhere I go, all the way back to the start, or maybe I don't go back to the start. Does that make sense? Okay. And I will say it's pretty accurate, but but there's a chance it may flag you to say the GPS tracker is not quite 100%. So mind you, it's an estimation. It's pretty close though. All right, so I'm gonna scoot back here just really quick. So we went from home to GPS, but now we're gonna look at nutrition. Now before we look at nutrition too much, I am not a nutritionist. I did not major in nutrition. I took a nutrition class to graduate, and that's about the end of it, okay? So if you want any nutritional advice, I'm not your girl, all right? I just want to show you the opportunity you have, because it has been recorded and studied. People that keep track of what goes in their body do better about maintaining and being a healthier lifestyle. So you see it on a screen, you kind of keep track of it, it helps you monitor that. Now first and foremost, we can do breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, what have you. Whatever you want to put into this program, you're going to select. So let's say we want to look at breakfast. I'm going to go to the next screen to show you what happens here. So over here, we were now under breakfast. You have the option to search a food name. You can scan a barcode. You can scan a nutrition label or anything like that to search. Now let me tell you, if you go to Panera and get a bowl or a cup of tomato soup, type in Panera tomato soup. It is specific, it's that specific, okay? Now I did an example on this side here. I had a granola bar in my office and I scanned the barcode, the same barcode you use to purchase it. Just scan it, it'll open up an option that has a little scan bar here, and it'll scan it. So this is what came up. I've got my calories here and here. I've got the carbs, the protein, and the fat. And the serving size is here. All I do is click add to breakfast, okay? Now, if you are a creature of habit, I personally am. I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I can save that, and I don't have to search for it every day. I just go back in and click it for breakfast, or click it for lunch, or click it for snack. A lot of times we have the same snack most days. So that makes it easier to navigate as well. Any questions on your nutrition tab? Nice. Now, Silver Sneakers Go app. Who's heard of this app? Okay, there's a couple in here. I want to pick your brains later. So, I have a confession. I am not legally able to use this app. You want to know why? I'm too young. It doesn't allow me. Yeah, so I personally cannot get on this app, but I do, when I typed into the app store on my phone, this is the description it got me, and I'm going to walk through it with you. It has a fitness location and a class finder, so any Silver Sneakers class nationally, it will locate it and find it for you. Say you're on vacation and you want to go to a Silver Sneakers class, bring up your app, type in where you are, and it will bring up a list of options. It said, well, national community classes, 200 plus Silver Sneakers on demand fitness and wellness videos. Step-by-step guided workout programs for all fitness levels, including guided walks and meditation. Ability to schedule future or log past activities of any kind. So if you went on my walk this morning at 9 o'clock, you could go into this app and add it to your workout for the day. It will give you notifications for scheduled activities, and it also has health and wellness articles. This is the jackpot. I'm kind of jealous y'all have access to it.
Yes, and that you have to pay for those classes.
You have to pay for those classes.
Silver Sneaker.
I don't think so. I've always heard they're free.
If you're your insurance carrier.
Okay, I'm hearing it depends on your insurance carrier.
Right.
Very good to know.
So, is that available?
I'll have to do some more research, Edith. Thank y'all for, yes,
Do we need our Silver Sneakers number to get into?
that's a great question. Yes, so whenever you're downloading this, it's going to ask you some login and registration information. I know some apps like this take like the AARP number or something like that, but if you have a Silver Sneakers number that you've been assigned, it'll ask for that as well, okay? Now, since I can't get into this app, I found a video that kind of gives you a sneak peek. Let's take a look at it.
You have that class over at Shepherd, you don't have any.
Correct, correct. But it's similar to our aerobics that we already have with Josh.
Not exactly.
I'll take your word for it.
Not, I've had both.
And I am sorry if this is really loud. I'm gonna push go, and if it is, we'll adjust. Can everyone hear it? Before we go it further, any additional questions on Silver Sneakers Go? Does anyone have this app currently? Who has a Silver Sneakers membership? Okay. I might want to borrow one of you to log in with together. So whenever we do the appointments, if you want to explore this further, we can do that and walk through it together. So I'll get to learn something too. There we go. All right, MyFitnessPal. Who's heard of MyFitnessPal? No one? Wow. This was my very first app I ever used when I got into the fitness realm. So MyFitnessPal has a free option and it has a premium option. What does premium mean? You pay for it. They want your money. Yes. So I have used the free option plenty of times. It is good enough to get you through. I mean, it does all the things you need. All right. So let's take a look at this one as well. I know this is a little bit blurry, but I want to point out on this first screen here, this has an option to pair your Fitbit, your iPhone watch, or your Apple Watch, I should call it, things like that. Anyone have a smart watch they use? Okay, so this one would pair to your phone. So even if you don't have your phone in your pocket when you're doing an exercise class, your watch is tracking it and it can upload it to the app so you get credit for it, okay? Second thing, this is similar to Pacer. This logs your calories. So whatever your goal is, so 1,800 calorie diet, you add your food and it'll subtract it. But what if you do 175 minutes of exercise? It's gonna take that into consideration, okay? So we're subtracting with the calories we consume, but we're actually adding back some when we exercise based on how much we are burning, okay? That can get really confusing, but it kind of does all the work for you as long as you're putting your information in accurately. Last thing on here is the diary of what you're consuming. Similar to the Pacer app, you type in whatever it is you're eating. I want to point out right here, if you can't read it, it says aged white cheddar puffs, pirate's booty. Who's ever had the pirate's booty? My kids love it. It's delicious. I'm so happy when they're like, Mom, can you get us some pirate's booty? I'm like, yes, I can. And if bags disappear, I don't know where they go. It's delicious, but I want to point out that is a very specific brand and type of food. It goes that specific. So say you go to Starbucks and you get a $10 tall frappuccino, vanilla bean, something or another. I don't even know if that's a real drink, but you type that in and it will bring up the specific calorie count, the content, all that good stuff to help you see what's going into your body right here. Any questions on that? All right. I have another little video that breaks down that nutrition portion on the MyFitnessPal. Let's take a look at that.
Welcome to MyFitnessPal 101. In this video, we'll guide you through the key nutrition features on the app so you can analyze your progress, make smart choices, and hit your goals. Your app has 4 main nutrition tools: Insights, Daily Totals, Weekly Digest, and Food Timestamps. Let's start with Nutrition Insights. As soon as you open the app, you'll find a dashboard at the very top that displays your remaining calories for the day based on your goal. Calories is the basic setting for tracking. However, if you have the premium version of the app, you can customize this so it's aligned to your particular goals, including macronutrient focus, heart health monitoring, cholesterol and sodium, carb tracking, and a custom setting option where you can select any 3 nutrients to display. Next, let's head over to the Nutrition tab, where you can discover how individual foods impact your daily goals. To find the Nutrition tab, tap More if you're on iOS, or tap the 3 lines in the top left if you're on Android. From here, tap Nutrition. Here, you'll find 3 useful charts that display your nutrient progress for the day. The first is a pie chart showing your calorie breakdown by meal. The second is a more in-depth nutrient breakdown. And the third is a pie chart showing your macronutrient totals. Premium members will have the same useful charts in addition to a view of which foods you've logged are highest in carbohydrates, fat, and protein. So not only will this page help you track your daily totals, but it will also help you discover how individual foods impact your daily goals and fuel your body best. While you track daily with MyFitnessPal, you can also view the Nutrition tab from a week view, aka Weekly Digest, to see 7-day interval trends of your eating habits. To view your Weekly Digest, tap this top bar and toggle to Week View or Change Date to pick any week for an at-a-glance view of all your key nutrition stats. Premium members will once again be able to see the individual food rankings, but this time from a weekly view. Lastly, Food Timestamps are a useful tool that is available for premium members using the mobile app. For someone who tracks what they eat, it can be just as important to know what time they ate the meal as well. MyFitnessPal Premium offers users the ability to track and edit when they ate their food using the Food Timestamps feature in the diary. Looking back at when you ate can be helpful in making connections to energy and hunger levels and how food affects your workouts. That's all for this edition of MyFitnessPal 101. We hope you learned a thing or 2 about nutrition insights so you can make the most of MyFitnessPal and achieve your health and fitness goals. Until next time, happy tracking.
All right, what questions do we have? I know that video goes rather quickly through that information. Any questions on MyFitnessPal specifically? All right, now, remember all 3 apps were blue and all 3 apps had white logos on them, so keep that in mind.
Welcome to
There we go. All right, so you got all this information. Now what do you do with it? Okay, the first thing available is setting up an appointment with me to go through what would be a good fit for you. So if your focus is mainly on having your walking routes monitored on the distance and your steps and all that good stuff, I think the Pacer app is your best bet. If you're wanting more of a nutritional aspect to your program, again, I'm not a nutritionist, but I can show you how to navigate these apps to help you. Wellness is not just the physical movement. It's really important that we're well balanced across the board. Spiritual, nutritional, physical, all the things, okay? So these apps are gonna help you achieve that. Any questions on how to find the apps? I know at Guilford, when I presented earlier, most of them are going to take this information and kind of play around with it on their phone and then call me to set up if they need help. If you know for a fact this is not easy to navigate, I've got a sign-up sheet on the piano I'm happy to pass around, and I can contact you to set up an appointment to go over with you, one-on-one. Other than that, what questions do we have? Did we learn something? I hope. Yes, Steve?
Each of these apps you can go to and find out. Can you have tours once you get there?
That's a great question. So the question is, on these apps, once you download them, is there a tour of how to navigate them? Most of them do. So even before you download, you can look at a description of what it offers. That's what I provided for the Silver Sneakers one. And it'll kind of give you pictures and examples of what it does. But it also, say you download the Pacer app, but you can't remember how to access the routes. YouTube is your best friend. Say, Pacer app tutorial routes, and it will do a step-by-step. I actually did a screen video of my own phone walking through it, but I couldn't get it to email to myself, the file was too large. So if you want to see something like that afterwards, you're welcome to come up and see it. Good question, Steve. What else? Doris?
Do you have anything on, I was looking for something for chair yoga.
Okay.
And I found a few things, but they were, you had to join it and a whole bunch of other stuff. Is there something free?
That's a great question. So her question is there anything on chair yoga that's free and you don't have to subscribe to? Yes. So again, this is also a YouTube answer. Whenever I want to get more material for my classes that I teach, I go to YouTube and say, since it's chair yoga, say chair yoga classes, and you can actually watch them right then and there. They can be 30 minutes, an hour, a 10-minute little session, anything you can imagine. There are apps that have chair yoga sessions, but a lot of them have that subscription applied to them. So we have to be really cautious of that. It's a great question though. Yes?
When we do the location and we're walking and getting steps or mileage or whatever, is there a way to save that so that we know
Yes.
how far it is from Overgill?
That's a wonderful question. So if you missed it, after you do your route, is there a way to save that information? Yes, and I'm actually going to take you back to a screen here. Give me just a minute to flip through. Come on, one more. We're almost there. There we are. Okay. So whenever you finish, after you push start, it'll go and then it'll give you the option to end. It will ask you, do you want to resume or finish the walk? After you select finish, it will say, would you like to save this activity? And you say yes. So actually, down here where it says routes and your history, it's going to have your maps available for you to go back and track. So if this is a wonderful example of you have 15 minutes to devote to something, I don't really know if I can make it to this place and back in 15 minutes. Let me go back and look at my route to see how long it took me to walk that. It's a great example of the other ways this can help you kind of plan your day out. Finding those pockets of time to weave a little exercise in there. Good question. What else? All right. Well, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you all being here. If you would like to sign up for a one-on-one appointment, come on up to the piano and I can help you do that and we'll get that scheduled, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you.